We have with us Mr. Erik Fyrwald, who is CEO of Syngenta. I'll invite him to deliver the first keynote address on Indian agrochemicals, how MNCs are shaping their global play. Erik joined Syngenta Group, one of the world's leading agriculture companies, in 2016 as CEO. Erik serves on the board of directors of Syngenta Group, Bunge, Eli Lilly, the Swiss American Chamber of Commerce, and UN World Food Program Farm to Market Initiative. He is also the chairman of Syngenta Foundation for Sustainable Agriculture and CropLife International. May I request Mr. Erik to address the audience with this first keynote address, please.
Thank you. Thank you and good morning, everyone. Secretary of Chemicals and Fertilizers, Mr. Baroka, distinguished colleagues, my dear friend Kamal, and all of you. It is truly an honor to be invited to speak at this conference and a pleasure to be with all of you here in Mumbai today. I want to start by saying that I wake up every day excited to be part of the chemical industry and thankful that I've been able to work in this sector for 43 years since 1980. That's longer than many of you have been alive. I hope you feel the same about our industry. We are the building blocks for all industries and are critical to addressing the key challenges facing India and the world, such as tackling climate change, ensuring food security, and reliable energy for all. We all depend on what you and your chemical industry colleagues around the world do to enable solutions across value chains. Whether it's electrifying cars, creating a hydrogen economy, developing biofuels for aviation, it all starts with chemistry. And I've had a wonderful career in chemistry so far, and I look forward to many more years. Now, my interest in chemistry started in 1964 when I was only 5 years old. My father was a polymer scientist at DuPont, and I went with him and our entire family to DuPont Safety Night. When I saw an injection molding machine taking little tiny pellets and creating cups with the DuPont logo that I love to look at, I was fascinated and immediately knew that I liked chemistry. I also learned why my father was so strong about safety that he even put goggles and steel-toed shoes on just to cut the grass. Now, my appreciation for the importance of safety was even further transformed into a fanatical passion early the morning of December 4th, 1984. I was driving to my job as a production supervisor at DuPont's Victoria, Texas petrochemicals plant when I heard on the radio of the horrendous disaster at the Union Carbide facility in Bhopal. I was shocked by the human suffering, and it had a huge impact on me. My first action was to join the process hazards review team at our site. Now at Syngenta, we start all meetings with a safety share, and I ask all colleagues each year to take part in a safety pause, where every single employee stops everything they do to take time to reflect on and talk about how we prevent all injuries. Now, after 28 great years with DuPont across many functions, geographies, and business units, including running DuPont Agriculture for the last 5 years I was there, I was fortunate to get the opportunity to become CEO of the global water treatment company called Nalco. Now, my favorite part of my Nalco experience was how we automated monitoring and optimizing water systems across the world. We transformed a chemicals business into a services business. And our Indian head of R&D, Mani Ramesh, told me about this great water system monitoring and optimization technology called 3D Tracer that his team had developed. But he also explained that the sales team didn't promote it because it would do their jobs only better. We went for the new technology very aggressively anyway, including putting a water doctor center here in Pune, where 20 water doctors monitor data from over 2,600 customer 3D TRASAR systems all around the world, 24/7 by 365. If a boiler in Texas sprang a leak, the 3D TRASAR would detect it. A water doctor in Pune would analyze the situation, alert the local NALCO service rep to go fix it, and all this happened before the customer even knew they had a problem. The benefits of this system were to lower use of chemicals while saving huge amounts of precious water. It also enabled much more efficient heating and cooling systems. So at NALCO, we were ahead of the curve addressing climate change. And it was there that I learned that system solutions thinking is where our chemical industry needs to continue to go to drive sustainable growth. Now I've been leading Syngenta Group from our global headquarters in Switzerland for 7 years, and it's been thrilling to be back in agriculture. We serve hundreds of millions of farmers all over the world with seeds, chemical and biological pesticides, plant health and nutrition products, and agronomic advice increasingly delivered through digital tools. Our purpose is to help ensure food security for all and take agriculture from being part of the climate change problem to being a key part of the solution by capturing capturing oxygen from the air and capturing CO2 from the air and creating oxygen and having that carbon captured in the soil to enrich the soil. Now, this is critically important because the world is already facing a major food security crisis while the population continues to grow. And climate change and conflict are making it harder for farmers to produce even the food we need today. Climate change-driven weather extremes are causing far more heat waves, droughts, floods, and high wind events than ever before. They are destroying vast areas of crops each year, and agriculture contributes 22% of global greenhouse gas emissions that are causing this. In addition to the challenges caused by weather extremes, the year-old conflict in Ukraine is adding to the massive food security challenge. In 2019, Ukraine agriculture fed 400 million people. Now its agriculture production is down by over 40%. That means they feed 140 million fewer people. 10 days ago, I was in Sudan, where nearly 12 million people don't know where their next meal is coming from. They rely on food supplied from the UN World Food Program, much of which used to come from Ukraine. And the same thing is happening in Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, and many other countries. Climate and conflict are causing hundreds of millions to starve, and billions of others aren't able to afford the food they need because of high food inflation. So we must help farmers adopt modern technologies and practices to grow even more on the existing farmland despite these weather extremes. And they need to do so in ways that take agriculture towards zero carbon emissions. We have the ability to do this, but we must all work together and build bridges across the agriculture and food systems, including with governments, country by country, and India needs to be a critical part of that. A key part of this is getting farmers to use the best chemistries with the best tools. Modern pesticides, otherwise known as crop protection products, and fertilizers are critical to sustainable agriculture, but have an unfair bad reputation. We should all be extremely grateful for the role they play in the world and better communicate their important benefits. Chemical pesticides alone are responsible for over 40% of all food produced in the world. and chemical fertilizers are also critically important. We would have zero forests left if we had to feed all 8 billion people without both of them. Across India, destructive pests and diseases destroy $5 billion a year worth of crops. An R&D-based crop science industry is playing a critical role minimizing these losses by bringing new technologies to farmers to help them deal with these crop-destroying pests. In 2021, Sri Lanka learned the value of chemical pesticides and fertilizers when it shifted its agriculture to 100% organic, banning synthetic tools. Yields dropped over 50%. Food shortages caused the price of grains and vegetables to skyrocket, leading to massive hunger and political upheaval. Sri Lanka had to reverse its destructive policy. Now, Indian agriculture must play an even bigger and more important role to feed the growing population here and contribute to global food security. The Indian chemical industry plays a crucial role in making this happen, so please keep it up. And I believe this will happen as India is leading the world as the fastest growing large economy with a very high level of education, including in the sciences, mathematics, and digital, combined with a strong work ethic and pro-government policies. And agriculture is a high priority for the government and industry here, thankfully. Now, India is a top priority for Syngenta, both as a huge growing market and as a supply source for key chemicals for our global business. India's agriculture is growing fast, and farmers here are moving up the value chain, including increasing exports of high-value crops such as vegetables. To support Indian farmers, Syngenta is constantly bringing out new innovations to better help growers increase yields and adapt to climate change. Let me share a few examples. Syngenta, our foundation, and other organizations are helping Indian farmers adopt seeding and enzyme technologies so they stop burning crop residues before they plant the next seeds. This reduces CO2 emissions and adds healthy carbon to their soils, which, by the way, increases yields for the next crop. So this helps deal with food security and climate change and makes the air in India healthier for all of us. Last year's awful heat wave in India killed thousands of people with record temperatures, including 49.2 degrees in parts of New Delhi. The heat had a big impact on wheat production, cutting yields significantly. Our innovative fungicide, Ampact Extra, helps Indian farmers protect their crops from heat stress. One wheat farmer in Punjab, Malkeet Singh, started using Ampact Extra last year. His yields increased 19% despite the high heat, and his profits soared. Another example is a tomato grower, Mukesh, here in Maharashtra. He was struggling with viruses due to another weather extreme, heavy rainfall. So he adopted our Syngenta kit concept, receiving regular support from our field teams. He's now able to achieve higher quality, virus-free harvests. His production costs dropped 15%, and his profits are way up. Our seeds, expertise, and high-quality varieties have made our tomatoes the most popular, with 1 in every 4 tomatoes in India, for example, being from Syngenta. So please eat at least 4 tomatoes today. Syngenta is also working with smallholder farmers across India to make sure they have stable and reliable incomes. Many growers struggle to know what crops to plant because they can't predict what the market price will be when they harvest 6 months later. Making the wrong decision can be financially devastating. So Syngenta Vegetable Seeds team last year started a pilot insurance program that guarantees growers a minimum market price, ensuring that they and their families have a sustainable income. The Syngenta Foundation in India is helping empower young people through our unique Agriculture Entrepreneurs Program. The foundation came up with a model in 2014 and works with the government and other foundations to encourage rural youth to play a part supporting agriculture development in their local areas. So far, it has created over 12,500 agri-entrepreneurs in 15 states all across India. These entrepreneurs support 1 million smallholder farmers in 14,000 villages. Now, India's chemical industry is a key source for the high-quality inputs we use in our products here in India and globally. We buy $7 billion a year in fine chemicals from all around the world, and India supply partners are increasing their share of this supply. This is because of your increasing capabilities to safely and sustainably produce the products with exceptional quality at world-class competitive costs and low carbon. I urge those of you who supply us or would like to become strategic suppliers to work with us on the shared goals of safety, quality, reliability, low carbon, and cost competitiveness, because that's what it takes together to win globally. And together, we help farmers all around the world, with India a top priority for Syngenta, including where we place our $2 billion per year spend on agriculture innovations. Now, as I close, I would like to leave you with 3 simple messages. First, the chemical industry, what you do, is fundamental to life. And India's chemical industry has a bright, innovative future, making life better. So let's take advantage together of the exciting and endless possibilities. It's important for the regulatory systems to continue to be science-based and with competitive registration timelines so we can take full advantage. Second, India will keep rapidly expanding, and this includes the chemical and agriculture sectors. You have the talent, the drive, and the huge home market to continue playing a critical leadership role, driving growth for the global economy. It is important that both domestic and global companies play key roles together, helping farmers and supporting agriculture. And finally, Syngenta is a very India-centric, Swiss-based global agriculture company. We have a long legacy in your country and a track record of exemplary corporate citizenship and partnerships here. We want to work even more closely with our Indian partners so farmers in India and around the world get the best innovations to ensure agriculture delivers food security and helps tackle climate change. Now let me finish with a final short story. When I came to India last in October 2019, I met with a farmer growing chili peppers. He told me that with our Syngenta team's seeds, pesticides, and agronomic advice, his yields had increased massively, and so did his family's income. He then introduced me to his son, who had just started medical school, to become a doctor because of his increased profits that made it possible to pay for medical school. Now, seeing this dedicated father creating a better future for his child thanks to his success in agriculture touched me. And this is why I am so proud not only of what we do at Syngenta, but of what we as the chemical industry do to improve people's lives. I would like to thank you all for having me here at this special event, and I wish you the very best for a very successful conference. Thank you.